Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Brianna Vega, and I am the athletic trainer here at Canajoharie High School. Today, I am going to walk you through our concussion policies, how we evaluate a potential concussion, and how we support your child throughout recovery. Our mission is to make sure every athlete is safe, supported, and fully healed before returning to activity. So, here at Canajoharie High School, concussion safety is a top priority. We follow strict evidence-based guidelines aligned with state requirements and best practices in the sports medicine community. We use validated evaluation tools, maintain open communication with families, and create a recovery environment that puts the athlete's health first. Um, Everything we do is designed to ensure long term well being, not just a quick return to play. So, what is a concussion? A concussion is a mild traumatic brain injury caused by the brain moving rapidly inside the skull. Um, this can happen from a direct hit to the head, a collision, a fall, or even an impact to the body that jars the head. Um, Concussions affect how the brain functions, not how it looks on imaging. So this is why CT scans or MRIs often appear normal. It's because you can't see a concussion through a CT scan or an MRI. Um, Symptoms may appear right away or even take several hours to develop. Um, Returning too soon increases the risk of prolonged recovery or even serious complications like second impact syndrome. Um, so, when evaluating athletes, we look for both outward signs and symptoms they report to us. Some signs we may observe um, include appearing dazed or confused, slow or delayed responses, balance issues, forgetting plays or events, personality changes, loss of consciousness, um, and symptoms that the athletes may report to us are headache, nausea, dizziness, fatigue, sensitivity to light or noise, feeling foggy, or trouble focusing. Any of these signs or symptoms is enough reason um, to remove an athlete from play and begin evaluation. So, when a concussion is suspected, we use several tools to evaluate brain function. So, let me briefly explain what each tool measures. So, the SCAT 6 assessment, the SCAT 6 is a standardized evaluation tool widely used in sports medicine. And this assesses um, symptoms, concentration, memory, balance, and neurological function. And it gives us a structured baseline to determine whether an athlete is showing concussion related deficits. The Glasgow Coma Scale, the Glasgow Coma Scale uh, checks an athlete's level of consciousness by um, evaluating eye responses, um, verbal responses, and motor responses, and this helps us quickly determine whether the athlete is mild, moderate, or severe. Now, the best test is the balance error scoring system. The best test evaluates postural stability, using different stances, concussions often affect balance, so increased errors help us identify functional impairments. Now, the VOMS test is the vestibular ocular motor screening. So the VOMS screens the vestibular and ocular systems, which control balance, eye movements, and motion tolerance. Athletes may experience dizziness, blurred vision, or nausea during certain eye or head movements, which confirms involvement of the visual or vestibular systems. Um, the cranial nerve assessment. So we quickly check cranial nerves and that control vision, facial movement, sensation, and coordination. And this helps us rule out more serious neurological involvement. And lastly, we have the cognitive assessment. Now, this assessment assesses things like short-term memory, ability to process information, and concentration. Um, and concentration. The concussions often slow down processing speed or memory recall. So that's what we're looking for with this cognitive assessment. So all of these tools help us confidently determine whether your athlete has a concussion and what the next steps should be. So our return to play guidelines, we use a step-by-step return to play progression to ensure athletes are healing safely. So each step lasts a minimum of 24 hours, and athletes only progress if they remain symptom free. So, step one, symptom limited activity. So, this is like simple daily tasks. Step two, light aerobic activity. That's like walking or stationary biking. Step three, individual sport specific exercise. So this is like sport specific training away from the team. So they're doing this individually. Um, Step four is non-contact training drills. So in this step, we increased the intensity, but we integrate them into the team. So they're not doing like full contact yet or anything, but they can do like, say you have we have a soccer athlete, they can do passing drills. So nothing with contact. Step five is full contact practice. So this is normal training activities with the team. So they're integrated in the team. They're allowed to do full contact. And then finally, step six, we have return to sport, which is their normal gameplay. So athletes may not skip a step or move forward if symptoms return. This just necessarily protects them from re-injury or long-term neurological problems. So, return to drive guidelines. Driving requires fast reaction time, attention, vision, and coordination, all of which can be impaired by a concussion. So, we recommend no driving for 48 to 72 hours after symptoms begin. Um, a medical professional must clear the athlete before driving again, and driving should resume gradually. And safety is always um, the first, like, safety always comes first. So we want to make sure they're not driving while they're having like a headache, or they're seeing blurriness, like their vision is blurry or anything like that, because that could potentially harm themselves and others. So we want to make sure um, they return safely. Return to school. So most students can return to school with some adjustments. The brain needs time to heal, so um, too much stimulation, such as lights, screens, noise, can worsen their symptoms. So we follow a staged approach, um, such as light cognitive activity, homework or short tasks at home, um, partial school days. So they're not going to school like the full day, they're only going to school, let's say, half a day, um, just to help with the systems that they are having. I mean, the symptoms they are having. And then, of course, full school day with accommodations. So, communication with teachers and faculty is essential so students receive the proper support they need during their recovery. And if you suspect a concussion, here's what you should do, or you should know. So it is okay for your child to rest, use Tylenol, sleep normally, and eat normally. Um, you want to make sure they're avoiding ibuprofen or NSAIDs because those are blood thinners, and um, if there's a possible brain bleed, we don't want it to worsen. So avoid NSAIDs early on. You also want to avoid physical activity, driving, screen time, or loud environments. And you want to make sure to monitor your child closely during the first 24 to 48 hours. If symptoms worsen, such as repeated vomiting, um, intense headaches, or confusion, seek emergency care. Um, so thank you for helping us protect our athletes. If you ever have any questions or need guidance, please do not hesitate to contact me. And together we can ensure safe participation and healthy recovery for every student. Thank you.